Peace and good love, good people. I'm your boy Pacman, Mr. 925 in Tambo Mtlakasi, where TV with your Gega. As you know, it's a Thursday, and we bring to you Wisdom Thursdays on Thursday. And yeah, I know last week we couldn't, feed, your wisdom souls. But this week we have something special for you, and I'd like to introduce the segment. What I like the most about the Wisdom Thursday is the fact that, we get wisdom from anything and everything. Like I always say, music, books, umuntu omdala, the trees. And this time around, a brother of mine offered to share some wisdom. His name is Motion, and he's the owner of Hala Black Records, and he wanted to touch on something that I feel like we need to really talk about, which is producers or artists taking advantage of younger girls when they come to their studios. So yeah, man, I hope you enjoy this Wisdom Thursdays, and don't forget to follow us on our Facebook page, The People's Journal. Then also forget to follow us on our YouTube page, The People's Journal Podcast. On Instagram, it's TPJ_podcast. And then subscribe. Now let's go out there and check out Motion and see what he got for us on this Wisdom Thursday.
Yo people, what's happening? It's your boy Motion, Mr. CEO himself, Mr. Hala Black himself. Thank you to Pac-Man for having me today on the show. But it's an honor, Pac-Man. I hope I do you proud so that you can call me again on the show. It's Wisdom Thursday, with the Street Journal, man. Your boy Emotion, Bafetu. I want to talk to the people, man. This is Emotion, producer, artist, entrepreneur, the founder and owner of Hala Black Records. Person from a fine town, proudly fine town, and Donna Sekasi, who's been doing it now, and making sure that people our own age have a place. These talented young people have a place to actually showcase their talent. However, today's Wisdom Thursday, I needed to talk to some of our producers. With the technology and everything that has been happening this nowadays, we are fortunate enough to have PCs and microphones. We can buy these things and actually set up a bedroom studio, and then we become producers. We become young businessmen. But there are things that we are doing is affect our businesses. So today's topic, or today's Wisdom Thursday, for me, I'd like to say I'd like to share wisdom with my fellow producers, my fellow studio owners. I want us to. There's this trend that is going on. I was speaking to a lady, I think a few days ago, and she said to me, "Look, I have a 15-year-old girl who loves music. She has given herself into music. She wants to be the next Kamumpela. And she's been asking me every day, mommy, can you please take me to a studio whereby I can enhance, I can record my stuff and become famous too. Now the painful thing is that she said to me, I said no to my child, and I asked why. Ati, inkinga you producers sleep with our baby girls. Guys, look, I know not all of us are the same. I'm a producer myself, and probably I'm also being painted with the same brush. Whenever we go and we start having our own studios, we're having our own stuff. We think now, because of we close the doors, this is an advantage for us to then playing Abantwana Babantu and do these things as even in the industry. We've seen our celebrities or our icons, people that we look up to, Bakala. They've been saying, look, Nami, I was raped when I started. Nami, I was taken advantage of when I started, and they kept the silence. Some of them are breaking the silence now, and I think this thing begins at the level that we are in. It kind of pained me when I heard this sister say that to me, and he said, no man, I want her to be in an environment where she can like grow her talent, she can learn these things and become something more. But because of the fact, Chogoti, you guys would take advantage of these young girls, I don't think I want to allow my child to such an environment. And then, guys, I asked myself, Chogoti, if she thinks that, how many other parents are stopping their children to come to a studio, to come to a place where they need to be finding comfort, to grow, to become the best that they could be, who feel the same thing? But no, I can't take my child to this guy's place because this guy is gonna start sleeping with my child. I don't think my child needs to be exposed to such things. So, as a fellow producer, as a fellow businessman, I then asked myself, what are we doing? Why is it doing into is better, guys? Why are we famous for things that are not growing us? Why are we famous about things that are not even taking us maybe I would say in a good place? Why do we find ourselves having to be explaining ourselves with I'm not that type of person? And then who is that type of person? You start thinking about him. If I called myself a producer, if I called myself somebody who has equipment to start a business like that, and then I become famous for isn't just vandalism, what does that say to me, to other people? So I started thinking, the first thing that I needed to do is, I think we need to share this amongst ourselves in the communities, because this thing, it's blocking us from enhancing it's blocking us from becoming the best that we could be. It's blocking us from also not becoming getting the real talent, because some of these girls are very talented at a young age. They are very, 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 very talented, but because of these things, they are now stopped from becoming what they're supposed to be. And now I looked at the pattern. Now the mother doesn't allow the girl to come to a studio to now explore and become what she needs to become this young artist, this young gifted woman in the music industry or wherever, with whatever industry that we would be taking them to. This girl is not. It's been deprived of that opportunity, and then she now looks for something different to do rather than the talent that she was supposed to be enhancing. You understand? You ask yourself, when she decides to do something else, it's not something she's comfortable in, it's not something that she likes doing, it's not even something that she wants to do. You understand? And then she starts falling pregnant, she starts going with the wrong crowd, she starts smoking and doing other things, only to react to I'm not in the place that I'm supposed to be. We all know how hard it is for a person to be happy whenever they are not in the place that they're supposed to be in. So I asked myself, then how do we then do that to other people, guys? How do we then take our selfish acts and make them as blocker, that blocks our success, that stops the real talent, that stops the real people from coming into our spaces, because thina sesidume ngokuthi hayi umntana abantu makeze lapha yana bayazi ukuthi hayi emotion izolala naye, umntana abantu makeze lapha yana sebayazi ukuthi hayi the producer is not going to do anything except sleep with them. And I asked this woman, I say, why do you say that? This is not my firstborn child, and this is not my firstborn child that I think he's talented. The first child fell pregnant from the same situation. This guy would call and say, snake gig, and then agiwe kicking. The next thing this guy has been sleeping or raping this child for the whole night. And then we start these things. 15 years old. This is still a child who wants to understand life, who wants to actually enjoy being a child. And there we are, Tina. All these things, only to which is